It's Randy Orton. Oh,
I have voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. They talk to me.
Hey guys, what's up? Mr. B Lane over here, and today I'm going to be doing my predictions for WrestleMania 32. I know I kind of lied when I said, oh, it'll be out Tuesday or Wednesday. Unfortunately, I just didn't get the time to do it on either days, so hopefully Thursday is still a good day to upload the predictions. But anyway, let's get on with the card. So what do I think of the card? It's obviously not an amazing card, but to be honest, considering the injuries that, you know, the WWE have suffered, it's not exactly going to be, you know, the best, is it? I mean, you're missing guys like Cena, Orton, Rollins, Sting, that sort of thing. So, you know, I mean, I wasn't expecting, you know, an amazing card, but it's still a good card, I think. Okay, let's get on to the actual card and with the predictions. I'm a bit, you know, I mean, at first I thought they were going to have 4 matches on the pre-show, and that kind of surprised me, but now seeing that there's, I think, 3, that's kind of better. I just think having 4 matches on the pre-show would have just been overkill. So let's go. So apparently the matches on the pre-show are, firstly, the US title match, Kalisto versus Ryback. I'm not really hyped for this match. Couldn't really care. Personally, I mean, a lot of people are saying that Ryback will win the US title. I think Kalisto's going to win. I think they're trying to build him up, you know, as a not necessarily a top babyface, but like, you know, as a kind of Mexican star, I think. So, you know, I think by having him win at WrestleMania against Ryback, I think that'll probably be the best bet, in my opinion. Next, we've got the Total Divas against Bad and Blonde. Jesus, that's just a terrible name. Anyway, so who do I think is going over? I think it's pretty obvious the Total Divas are going over. I mean, you know, you've got Brie Bella. It's probably going to be one of her last, if not her last match. You know, Paige, Natalya, Alicia Fox, even Marie. And on the other team, you've got Lana, Summer Rae, Naomi, Emma, Tamina. You know, it's just not really necessarily, you know, they're not necessarily the, you know, on Team Bad and Blonde, you know, the top divas, whereas I think Total Divas just has the higher profile divas. So I'm going to go with Team Total Divas to win that. And the final one is going to be the Usos versus the Dudley Boys. I'm pretty confident the Usos will win this one, simply because, well, you know, the Dudleys have been in the WWE to kind of put over teams like New Day and stuff, and I feel that, you know, it's kind of the right thing to put the Usos over. The Usos are going to be they're one of the faces of the tag team division, in my opinion. I think them beating the Dudleys, who, you know, were kind of at one point the face of the tag team division, you know, back in the Attitude Era, arguably. I think that's probably just the best thing to do here, so I'm going to go with the Usos to beat the Dudleys. Next we'll get onto the main card, and apparently the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is actually on the main card, which I was a bit confused, because at first it wasn't, and then it wasn't, and I just got really confused. Who do I think is going to win? There's a few options in here. I think there's a kind of a dark horse option, but Mark Henry, you know, I think he's coming towards the end of his career. It could be nice to give him a moment in Texas by winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I'm pretty sure the Wyatts are in it. If they're not, I apologise, but I'm pretty sure they are. So I think the 2 main candidates are either Bray Wyatt or Braun Strowman. I think those are your best bets to, you know, who's going to win the Battle Royal, in my opinion. So I'm going to go with Bray or Braun Strowman. Next, we'll look at the New Day versus the League of Nations. This could be a fun matchup. You know, you've got some good workers in here. You know, the New Day are always a lot of fun to watch. The League of Nations aren't necessarily the most entertaining faction, but, you know, they've got some solid workers in there. You know, Barrett, Sheamus, Del Rio, Rusev, I think are all solid workers. Who do I think is going over? I think probably New Day will go over. I can't really see them giving the belts to the League of Nations. You know, I think they'll probably end up bringing up Enzo and Cass as future challengers for the tag titles to challenge the New Day. I just don't really see who they could have the League of Nations feud with after, you know, they beat the New Day for the tag titles. I just don't know what kind of direction they would go there. So I'm going for the New Day to win here. Next, AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. This has actually been a pretty good feud, actually. I've really enjoyed the matches that they've had, and the build-up as well has been pretty good. Jericho's been quite a fun heel as well. I think AJ Styles will go over here. I think You know, they're building up AJ very well, very nicely with getting a couple of wins over Jericho. You know, I think as well giving him the win at WrestleMania against someone like a Jericho is much needed. I think, you know, Jericho's kind of a guy who can lose to a lot of people but still have a lot of momentum and still kind of be in a high profile spot. I don't really think it'll affect Jericho, whereas I think a loss to AJ Styles would really kind of affect him. So I think the best bet here is to go for AJ Styles, who I think is going to win. Next, Divas triple threat match between Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks. This could be a really good match. I mean, you know, if the four-way NXT Takeover rival with these three women and Bayley, you know, that was a great match, and I think this one can be great as well. I think this could probably be the best women's match in WrestleMania history. I think you've got three great workers here, you know, three fantastic talents here. Who do I think is going over? I'm pretty confident we'll see Sasha Banks win the Divas title. I think, you know, Charlotte's held the belt for a while. You know, she's beaten off all challengers. She's beaten Becky before. I think if they wanted to put the belt on Becky, they would have done it maybe at the Rumble. So I'm going to go for Sasha Banks. I think they've built her up pretty strong. That's coming onto the main roster. You know, she hasn't lost that much, if at all. So I think, you know, having, you know, Sasha win the belt is probably your best bet, in my opinion. Next, we'll look at the Intercontinental ladder match. I kind of wish that, you know, they'd kind of put the US title match on the main card and made the US title match a ladder match, just because it kind of spices things up. Because that's 2 years in a row we've had like IC title ladder matches. I just think I would like something a bit more, you know, original. But you know, it's still gonna be a fun match. You know, you got Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, Zack Ryder, Sin Cara, The Miz, Stardust. You know, I think it does kind of show the lack of roster depth when you've got, you know, someone, you know, you've got Zack Ryder in this ladder match. You know, no offense to Zack Ryder, but you know, you never thought he'd get onto the main card, would you? But I guess it's a good moment for him to get a spot on WrestleMania, I guess. Who do I think is going to win? I'm actually thinking that Kevin Owens is going to win. I know a lot of people are thinking Sami Zayn will get the belt, but I just think it's too early, personally. I think you can still have a story with Zayn chasing Owens for the belt for a good few more months. I think they can have some great matches. You know, and I think also it would just be kind of a surprise to give, you know, to have the champion retain in a ladder match. You know, last year you had Barrett lose to Bryan. Bryan obviously won the belt. So I think it would just be, you know, I just think it would spice things up a bit, having, you know, the champion retain. So that's why I think Kevin Owens will probably retain the Intercontinental Championship. Now we're getting on to the big matches here. We'll go on to Shane McMahon against The Undertaker, which is a Hell in a Cell match, and if Shane wins, he gets control of Raw. But if Undertaker loses, it'll be his last WrestleMania. Who do I think is winning here? This is an interesting one. It's kind of a lose-lose here, because if Undertaker wins, that means his career's still going, but Shane won't get control of Raw and will still have the authority in charge of Raw, and that will just be horrendous. You know, I think the authority has been going on for way too long. It's just dragged, and I really just want it to end. But if you have Shane McMahon win, that means The Undertaker obviously won't wrestle at WrestleMania anymore, and honestly, I don't really want this to be Undertaker's last match, if that makes sense. I think Shane probably will win through some shenanigans. How, I don't know. They'll pull something, I reckon. I mean, The Undertaker is getting older, you know, it's pretty obvious as well. So I think this probably, unfortunately, is his last WrestleMania, unfortunately, which is a shame, because he's had a great career, and I honestly would have liked for his last match to have been, you know, a higher spectacle match, but honestly, you know, it's still not a terrible match, I guess. It's not as if he's facing, you know, Curtis Axel or whatever. But, yeah, I'm going to go with Shane McMahon to win here, unfortunately. Nothing against Shane McMahon, I do really like him, but I just think, you know, it's just not exactly, you know, my ideal choice for, you know, on The Undertaker's last match. So next we've got Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar in a no-holds-barred street fight. This could be a lot of fun. I think this could maybe even be a match of the year contender. I think you've got two fantastic workers in Ambrose and Lesnar. I think the match could be a lot like SummerSlam 2013. where CM Punk and Lesnar faced off. Obviously Lesnar dominated most of the offense, but Punk got in shots every now and then. I think that will probably happen in this matchup. I'm pretty sure Ambrose will probably lose to Lesnar here. I think, I don't think they're building up Lesnar to lose to someone like Ambrose, unfortunately, which is a shame, because I just think they're clearly building up Lesnar to lose to Reigns eventually. When that will be, who knows? But unfortunately, I just don't see the WWE, giving Ambrose the chance to beat someone like Brock Lesnar, unfortunately. But I think Ambrose will put up a great performance, and it'll be a great matchup, hopefully. So my prediction would be Brock Lesnar. And finally, the main event, Triple H versus Roman Reigns for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. This actually could be a good match. I think the build-up's been pretty solid to this matchup for the most part. I know people have been hating on it just because, well, anything Roman Reigns does these days, people just hate. But, I think it's a shame that this match is going to get absolutely just destroyed, especially if Roman Reigns goes over in the main event of WrestleMania. I do think this will happen. I think Reigns will probably beat Triple H for the belt. However, I don't think the crowd are going to take it very well, and it's probably going to end up ruining the ending to WrestleMania. And honestly, I don't really get the Roman Reigns hate. I mean, I do to an extent, but I think he's just getting a bit ridiculous at this point. Anything he does, he just sort of is booed for. It's just not really, and there's not really much explanation for it. But my prediction is Roman Reigns, really. I think obviously Triple H will get some elaborate, amazing entrance, which is fair enough. But yeah, I'm kind of not looking forward to this match just because I know the crowd will probably ruin it. But my prediction is Roman Reigns. Thank you guys for watching this predictions video. Sorry about the kind of lack of enthusiasm it sounds at times in this video, but it's just I'm pretty tired at the moment, but I still wanted to get this done. So I hope you guys enjoyed anyway. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe.